Hi students, today we are discussing on the topic basic concepts of OOPS, chapter 6, basic concepts of OOPS. OOPS means object oriented programming language. C++ is an object oriented programming language. Then what is this object oriented programming language? Then this is in object oriented programming language, emphasis is on data rather than procedure. Means importance is for in OOPS or object oriented programming language, importance is for the data instead of algorithm or procedure. Then what are all the characteristics of OOPS or what are all the characteristics of object oriented programming language? Object, class, data abstraction, data encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding and message passing. These are all the characteristics of OOPS. Next year you will learn all these things in detail. This year we are just learning what is this characteristics. First one, object. Yeah, in your term, what is an object? Say one example for an object. Yeah, one pen is an object. This table is an object. Chalk is an object. Like that, it is a real world entity. Object is a real world entity. Then, each object is having some characteristics. Means, suppose one pen. What are the characteristics or properties of that pen? Color of that pen, length of that pen, like that. Then what? Suppose another object, table, height of the table, width of the table, like that. Some characteristics is there for each object. Then in C++ term, an object is a collection of data members and associated member function. Means this data member means its characteristics. Suppose one student. Then we are reading and printing the details of a student. Then what are all the details of the student? Register number, name, mark and all the characteristics or properties of the student. That properties or characteristics are called data members. Okay. Then member function means that reading the details of the student, printing the details of the student. Like that some operations. That operations are called a member function. Then in object oriented term, object means object is a collection of data members and associated member function. Means data members means properties or characteristics. Member function means operations. That is, each object is having its properties and some operations. That is, an object is a collection of data members and associated member function. Or another definition, an object is an instance of a class. Then each object is identified by a unique name. Suppose one student. How can you identify one student? With his name. Like that each object is having one name or each object is identified by a unique name. So 5 students means 5 students is having some different names. That is, each student is identified by his name. Then in object oriented concept, an object takes space in memory for storing the object. Some space is required, or each object is having some address. Each object is having its own address and it takes some space in memory. Then that is, one object means it is a thing. It is a real world entity. How can you identify one object? With one unique name. Then in C++ term or object-oriented concept, an object is a collection of data members and associated member function. Data member means its properties or characteristics. Member function means operations. Then the second characteristic is class. Class means it is a collection of objects having similar characteristics. Suppose 10 students are there. Then each student is first student S1, S2 up to S10. Like that, collection of that students, that is a class, or collection of object is a class. The definition of class is a collection of objects having similar characteristics. Then class contains both data and function. Then data inside the class is called member data. Function inside the class is called member function. And class is a user-defined data type. Yeah, the coming chapter you will learn what is this data type and all. What is this data type and what is the difference between fundamental data type and user-defined data type. Then you will understand what is this user-defined data type. Now we just learn this class is a user-defined data type. Third characteristic is data abstraction. Data abstraction means it refers to the process of representing essential features without including background details or explanation. We can consider one example. Your mobile phone. Then in the front screen you can see only some icons. It is not representing all the details behind that icons. Camera, contacts, message. It is not representing all the messages in front page itself. It is just representing only that message icon. It is not representing all the contact details in the front page. It is just representing that contacts, the contact icon. Like that camera. Only the icons is there on the front screen. Like that. Then data abstraction means it refers to the process of representing essential features without including background details or explanation. It is representing only the essential features or only that icons without including the background details. Without including more details or explanation. It is just representing only the essential features. That process is called data abstraction. In C++ also we are using this property, data abstraction. From only that function name we are representing in the main function. From that function name itself we can conclude that what are all the things we are doing using this program. Like that. Then data abstraction means, definition of data abstraction is it refers to the process of representing essential features without including background details or explanation. And then the fourth one, data encapsulation. What is a capsule? Yeah, you know, medicine. Some medicine. Capsule means that plastic cover, that some medicine is wrapping in a some plastic unit. That is capsule. Same like that, in wrapping data and function. Instead of wrapping medicine, here we are wrapping data and function into a single unit. That is called class. Class means we are wrapping or covering data and function into a single unit, like a capsule. Okay, that is called data encapsulation. Data encapsulation means it combines data and functions into a single unit called class, or wrapping up of or covering up of data and function into a single unit called class. Then, what is the use of this data encapsulation? Using this data encapsulation, data will be more secure. We can give more security to the data. That is, outsiders cannot access the data from this class. We can provide some security for some data. This security is providing using some access specifiers. In next year you will learn what are all the access specifiers and all. Access specifiers are private, public, protected. Private means it is for only for that class. Private only for, it is private for that class only. Public means outsiders also can access. Like that we can give some special security, some security to each data. That is called data hiding. Okay, we can hide some data or we can give more security to some data using this access specifiers like private, public and protected. Using that access specifiers, we can give some more security to the data. That is, using this data encapsulation, we can give more security to the data. Then what is data encapsulation? We are covering the data and function into a single unit like a capsule. That is called class. Class means it is the combination of data and function. It is combining data and function into a single unit. Using this, what is the use of this data encapsulation? We can give more security to the data. That is, outsiders cannot access the data. Using only that we can give accessibility to that class only. This security, we can give this security using data hiding. That data hiding we are giving using the access specifiers. Yeah, today we can consider only these 4 characteristics of this OOPS. OOPS means object-oriented programming language. Object means it is an instance of a class, or object is it's a real world entity. Then class means it is a collection of objects. Class is a collection of objects having similar characteristics. Then data abstraction. Data abstraction refers to the process of representing essential features without including background details or explanation. Then 4th characteristic is data encapsulation. That is wrapping up of, covering of, combining data and function into a single unit called class. Using this data encapsulation, we can give more security to the data. For that process is called a data hiding. We can hide the data using access specifiers. What are all the access specifiers? Private, public, protected.